Hi folks, it's Annie here again at the Keto Way. Well, did you have a good week? I had a great week. Had to deal with a personal issue with somebody on Facebook. Um, but that's all over, said and done, and I'm going to leave that person in the Lord's hands, and He can deal with them. Anyway, I've had a wonderful week. Let me put this up a little so you can see my face a little bit better. It's kind of not a good light here. Not a good light, but it's better than nothing. Um, it's November 5th, and I just wanted to let you know I have lost another 5 pounds. I'm down to 256. I haven't been this low in weight since probably 2000 and maybe 2010, 2011. I think 2011 is probably the year that I was last this weight, so that was 7 years ago. I am just ecstatic. I'm just ecstatic. This ketogenic way of life is working great for me. I just finding that eating once a day, which I'm eating, for those of you new to my channel and new to the ketogenic diet, will know this term OMAD, which is symbolic or signifies 1 meal a day. And that's what I eat. I fast every day, 24 hours or a little bit more. This is working for me. Now, if it ever stops working for me, then I'm going to have to change things up. Sometimes you hit a plateau and you got to change things up a little bit more. And maybe I'll have to eat less cheese, less dairy, because I don't drink milk. If I do have milk, it's almond milk or cashew milk or something like that. We don't use dairy cow milk in our house. We do eat sour cream, cream cheese, butter. We do use other dairy products. I haven't used ghee yet. I've heard that it's really good. I don't drink bulletproof coffee. A lot of people do. For you that don't understand what bulletproof coffee is, it's coffee with oil in it, butter, and whipped cream, and you just blend it. And it's supposed to be really good. Some people have a little cinnamon in it. I've never tried it. Just the thoughts of putting oil in my coffee just doesn't sound great. I'm a very simple person. I love it simple. And I like my simple coffee with my stevia sweet leaf sweetener in it and my whipped cream, and I have 2 cups a day. And that's it for me. Simple gal, like it the simple way. I'll give you an idea of what a meal is for me. Last night I had two burger patties. I made ranch parmesan burgers. I use ranch dressing now. I buy the store-bought ranch. I take a chance. Sometimes I know there's a little bit of soy in it, and there's a little bit, for all the amount that's in there, I don't think it's that bad. I what they call eat dirty keto. I'm not following complete macros. Now, I do know that I'm eating less than 20, probably 20 grams of carbs a day. I don't eat anything other than my meal, and that's it. No snacks, no nothing. I know Dr. Fung says he gives you an eating window, but I don't follow that. I just eat what I eat, and then I'm done. I eat till I'm full, and usually, like I said, I had a hard time eating my second burger. I had 2 burger patties, ranch parmesan burgers with mozzarella cheese on them, and I had a green salad with tomato and onion in it. Nothing else. And some ranch dressing and a bit of Parmesan cheese. I had 2 dill pickles with that. By the time I was done that, I was absolutely stuffed, and that was my meal for the day. So if I'm still losing, and I'm losing 5 pounds in a week, something's going right, something's working, and I'm eating well. I'm not starving like I was before when I did the other kinds of diets. When I was doing just a regular, cutting your fats, low fat, still eating carbs. I don't eat anything gluten, no glutens, which means no breads, no refined flours. and no sugar as possible, as little as possible. So some of it you got to watch, because I was listening to a documentary, The Magic Pill. Was done, I think, a year ago. It was on Netflix, but I found it on YouTube and watched it last night. Interesting documentary about the ketogenic diet, and talking to the Aboriginal people of Australia, and how over time they've become sick, they've become diabetic, they've had heart disease, strokes, dying at early ages. Well, they used to live to old age. Before the Europeans came, they died of old age, or sharks, or crocodiles, or things like that, but they didn't have the diseases. Then the Europeans came, and they ended up with tuberculosis and smallpox and things like that, of course, because they'd never been exposed to those things. They were the indigenous peoples there, and lived a solitary life, not knowing any other race of person. And along came the Europeans and brought them diseases. And then along came the 70s, and everything became processed. I barely remember my mother using anything out of a box. My mother made everything from scratch. It was not something that I ever saw my mother do. The only thing I ever saw my mom, she'd buy the maple syrup to put on your pancakes or your waffles. But everything else, I didn't see boxes in my mother's cupboard. She didn't. I remember her sifting flour, watching her bake, making things, using a sifter, using a meat grinder. The meats were different then. We didn't have the fast produced meats, the way it is today. It's not good. The food industry knows. I believe they're in bed with the pharmaceutical companies and with the medical industry. And the medical industry, like I said, needs to get on board with this. I listened to different people's stories in this documentary about how one woman, she cured her cancer, healed her cancer. She had metastatic breast cancer, the most progressive type of cancer. Very aggressive form, aggressive, not progressive, aggressive form of cancer. One of the most. And she healed her cancer. I was like, wow, praise the Lord. See, what happens is, if you do the ketogenic diet along with intermittent fasting, you put your body into what they call autophagy. Autophagy is when there's little cells in your body, apparently, when you go into autophagy, that your body has these little cells that go in and start cleaning up the body, cleaning up the bad cells, the dirty, the garbage that's in your body, it's in your cells. They start cleaning it up. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to me how God made our bodies. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So how true is Scripture? When God says so, we are. And it's us, and we have to put the blame where the blame belongs. It's on us for continuing to eat the way we do, excuse me, and for the medical industry for not getting on board with this. Actually, this one doctor in Australia actually had the dietitians of Australia, the dietetics, I think they call it the Dietetic Association, came against him and took him up before a board and wanted him to lose his medical license, because he recommended the woman that was breastfeeding her child to continue breastfeeding and have, be on a low carb, high fat diet. And when she reported that, apparently, I guess, to the dietitian took offense to that and didn't like it, telling a breastfeeding woman to do that. So it didn't, pardon me, I thought I felt something on my arm. Sometimes you get spiders. We do have spiders, the odd spider in here. That happens. It's been a year where we've had a lot of spiders. I don't know why. It's been a kind of a rainy summer. Maybe that's why. And that's what's driving them. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this doctor was being taken to court, basically a court, to lose his license, and he won, but they've appealed it now, and they want to take him back to court again, and because they're trying to force the issue. This is in Australia. Now, come on. What works, works. But you see, there's no money to be made for people on all the processed foods. The industry, if everybody gets a hold of this and starts eating this way, the processed food industry is going to lose big time. Just think about it. The bottled sodas, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, all of those brand name sodas, they're going to lose money too. Everybody's going to lose money except the produce industry, the meat industry. They'll still, but it's going to go, if people are eating organic and can afford to eat that way, to eat the organic fruits and vegetables, to eat the organic meats. It is expensive. Yes, I find the ketogenic diet is expensive, but I'm praying that one day it'll come to the point that a lot of people get a hold of it. They'll realize that this beats cancer. It fights cancer. It puts your body, it's using your body, what God already put in your body, to help you be at a right weight for your size, to get rid of all the diseases that you should have never had. It's only because of the sugars, the refined flours and the sugars that are in your body. That's the only reason that they're there. That it's there is that you have these diseases. It's because you're eating the wrong foods, you're gaining all the weight, you're actually changing the metabolism of your body. You're changing it by what you're putting in it. And this starts from youth, from childhood. Maybe even before, if your mother and dad aren't eating correctly. And, in the womb even. So, they got more kids today that are type 2 diabetic being diagnosed as type 2 diabetics as children. Type 2, not type 1, type 2. And it's just, it's enormous. So, I'm telling you, for those of you out there who doubt, look at me. I was 321 pounds. I'll tell you again. I started last January just by cutting back on some of the gluten, some of the breads and bagels and things that I was eating, and started cutting out a lot of the junk that we were eating, and we were eating a lot of junk, drinking pop. I didn't drink pop that often, only if I had low blood sugar, and then I'd swig a pop. And we were eating a heck of a lot of junk. A lot. Ice cream. Cheesecakes my husband loves. All kinds of things. Danishes. Donuts. It was just terrible. Pies. Just all kinds of junk. Sugar. Gluten. Lots of garbage. And I tell you, I felt sick. I felt awful. I felt like I was dying. And ended up having some sort of attack. I don't know what it was, whether it was gallbladder, my liver, I don't know. But it was horrible. I was in such pain, agony, for hours, to the point of being in a cold sweat, because I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't walk. I could, but I couldn't get comfortable no matter what I did. I thought, oh, am I having a heart attack? But it wasn't that type of pain. It was different. It was a different kind of pain. It started in my side and here and went all the way around and through my back, and it was awful. So I asked the doctor after I had lost an initial 30 pounds just by cutting back and cutting out a lot of the junk. And I lost an initial 30 pounds of water weight, I think. And I stayed at 30 pounds from March, probably February, March, until I went and got to the doctor and got him to investigate after I'd had this attack, which was in the spring or early summer. And I went to him and I said, please, you've got to find out what this is. Do I have gallstones or what is it? Sent me for an ultrasound. Well, the ultrasound results came back and he said to me, you have severe fatty liver disease. Your liver is huge. Huge. It's very enlarged. And he said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when your liver's going to fail. And what's going to happen, you're going to die. And I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done to myself? So he recommended at that time a book by Dr. Jason Fung called The Diabetes Code. So I went right home, I got on my Kindle, and I downloaded his book, bought his book, and I read it. Well, I was gobsmacked. I literally was, because of what I read, and I thought, this is for me. This is something I have to do. So I started on August the 13th. I thought it was the 10th, but it was the 13th. It was a Monday. I'd gone to the doctor's the previous Friday, I believe, and on that weekend, I had my last ice cream. And now I found a really good recipe for keto ice cream. I'm going to try it. But I'll wait until I get down to my maintenance weight before I do that. Because I don't want to eat too many carbs at all right now. But I found a good recipe for it. So I don't have to do forever without certain things that I like. They just won't be the stuff bought in the store. They'll be something I made out of healthy products. And no sugar. Anyway, I started August 13th, and now it's November 5th, and I went from 291, I was 291 the time I went to see the doctor, and I'm now 256. 35 pounds in less than 12 weeks. And for a menopausal woman who's insulin resistant, that's amazing. That is amazing. And the doctor's not going to scoff at that. I've lessened my insulin intake. I'm down to 22 of the long-acting and 6 of the short-acting. So I'm on 2 insulins. I am on Lyrica, Tolviaz, and a lisinopril, which is a blood pressure medication. I'm hoping and praying the doctor's going to take me off, or at least lower the blood pressure medication for now, because I don't think I need it to be as high of a dose as it is right now. Because I think my blood pressure's gone down. I don't know. I don't have a blood pressure cuff to check it. But I know my blood sugars are great. They're in control for the first time in 11 years. I got diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic in 2007. I was pre-diabetic before that, but full-blown type 2 diabetic in 2007 and put on insulin pills. And actually first tried to with diet and exercise, and that didn't wash. It was a washout. Didn't go. So put me on metformin. I was on that first, and was on that for a bit. I couldn't handle, my stomach couldn't handle the metformin for too long. Finally, the doctor took me off it and put me on something different. I was on Victoza for a while and did lose 13 pounds while I was on it. I was even going to exercise classes for people with fibromyalgia. And lost 13 pounds in a very short period of time. I think it was a month or something like that. But the doctor's like, you should have lost more than that. Well, he kind of discouraged me at the time, and I thought, really? I'm menopausal, and you're talking to me like that? Come on, get real. So I wasn't too impressed with him at the time, but I am very happy that he put me on to Dr. Fung. So 10 years of having uncontrolled blood sugars, ranging from, I think the highest I ever was 18, and the lowest was like 2.2, now are regulated anywhere between, right now between 7. The highest I've had is 9, but usually between 7 and 8. And they've never been in control. And you should have it between 5 and 8. Hopefully lower than that. And I'm trying. And as the weight comes off, I know that the blood sugars are going to go down, down, down. As the more I'm not taking insulin, the more I'm in ketosis, the more my body is going to regulate. The same with my liver. It's going to take about a couple years for my liver to heal from what the damage I've done to it. But a liver will regenerate itself. It will, over time, as long as you don't keep damaging it, or the damage is beyond repair. Some people, when it's caught, the damage is so beyond repair, the liver can't heal itself. So I'm praying that my liver is going to self-heal through the ketogenic lifestyle, because it is a way of life and a way of eating. And a lot of people that go on the keto diet don't realize that once they do, they need to stay on it for life, even if you only have to lose 20 pounds. Because what's going to happen once you go off of it, you take yourself out of ketosis, and if you start eating the way you did before, what's going to happen is your brain is going to start triggering. The dopamine centers in your brain will start triggering again, because ketosis also turns the trigger off. So it makes you feel satisfied, satiated, the word is, when you eat. Like, I could barely finish what I ate last night. And that, for me, is something, because my husband said, oh, you used to eat truck tire meals. I said, yeah, I did. To be honest about it, I did. And that's what got me here. So I'm very happy. I think I'm going to slip a picture of myself at 3:21 in this video. And I'll get my husband, I'm going to get dressed up, maybe in the same clothes. And I'll put another picture up next week of myself at 256 or whatever I weigh next week. And we'll see the difference. Because I was huge. And I used to hate to look at myself in the mirror. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see it. I'm looking in the mirror to see the difference. I feel it in my clothes. Like I said, I can get my coat on now. I can do it up, and I've got some room. I couldn't bend over to put my socks on. I can put my own socks on. I couldn't bend over, even having a shower, to dry my toes. Now I can dry my toes. I actually show my husband something. Watch this. I put my leg up on the couch like this while sitting up, and I said I was rubbing lotion on my legs because they were dry. I said I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that 6 months ago. I can do that now. I can move a whole lot better. I started walking again last week, and I'm walking better than I ever have. The energy I have is unbelievable. The clarity I have in my thinking. Because listen, I also have fibromyalgia, and you know, ladies or men out there who have fibromyalgia, the brain fog that you have with fibromyalgia. Not anymore. No brain fog. I found, though, the last couple nights I've had a bit of insomnia. Now, I heard that can happen when you're in ketosis, you can get insomnia. They say some people sleep better. When I sleep and fall asleep, I sleep well. But I've been having insomnia now. Like I said, I've been dealing with a personal issue with well, not so much a personal as a God issue with someone on Facebook, and that's had me kind of thinking. So I'm the type of person, I've got a very keen mind, and I think about things. I think about, well, this or that or the other thing at night, and that keeps me awake. So this issue has kept me awake. Very concerned for this situation, but I have to leave it in God's hands. And that's something that I have had to learn over the years, that it's all in God's hands. And that's the other thing. God answered my prayer with this diet, because I was trying to find a way. I thought, there's no way I'm ever going to lose this weight. How am I going to get all this weight off? And I would get so discouraged even just thinking about it, because I'm going to have to starve myself and all of that. And I would cry because I would think, oh God, please help me. And I would pray all the time to Him, Lord, help me to eat to live and not live to eat, because it was constantly on my mind, what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to eat, what are you going to eat? I don't think about it anymore. I just, okay, well, I got to make dinner for myself tonight. What are you going to have when it comes to that? Okay, I'll have that. That's fine. I was always constantly about food, going in the fridge, going in the cupboard. What can I eat? All the time. Not anymore. Not anymore. God answered my prayer. And I know maybe some of you out there, you're looking for a way out too. You're tired of being fat. You're tired of feeling horrible. You might be in a worse situation than I was and have dire situations to your health. I'm telling you, this is not going to hurt you. It's going to help you. And don't listen to the naysayers that are on YouTube, that are on social media, that are saying, oh, this keto diet is just a fad and it's no good and it's like the Atkins diet. No, it's not like the Atkins diet. Atkins diet, you're eating horrific amounts of protein, which you really shouldn't be. You should be eating about 7 to 10 cups of vegetables per day. If you eat more than once a day, then you should be having some vegetables with your breakfast. You can have eggs, you can have dairy, but no sugar and no gluten. There's other options for you. If you like to have breads or buns or things like that, you can make keto breads, keto buns with almond flour, coconut flour. There's other ways. So you're not going to miss out. Just letting you know, you're not going to miss out. I mean that with all my heart. You are not going to miss out on anything. You're not going to miss eating the junk, because you're going to feel so good. And that's the whole thing. And this is what Dr. Berg said, Dr. Eric Berg. Eat for your health. Don't worry about the weight. That's just a side effect of the ketogenic diet. And it is. That comes along with it, but eat to get healthy. And that's what I put my mind on right away, was I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I need to eat to live and not live to eat. Food is a tool to keep us alive, to keep our machine going. This body is made very wonderfully, but we need to put energy into it to keep it going. Just like a car, you have to fill it with gas. You have to maintain it. Otherwise, your car will fall apart. Well, that's what happens with your body. If you're not putting the right things into your car or doing the right things with your car, it's going to fall apart, and your body's the same way. You got to take care of it. God gave it. It's the temple, His temple. I believe that. I'm a Bible believer, so yes, your body's the temple of the Lord, and what you put into it matters. Now, for all of you naysayers, it works. I go by how I feel. I feel 110% better than I did 6 months ago, 3 months ago. I can walk without being in pain. I can stand without being in pain because I've lost 70 pounds. Well, close to it. 50, 60 pounds I've lost. Soon to be 70 pounds if I get down to 250. So I started at 321. That's 71 pounds. So I'm at 52, 56. So it is 60 pounds. 60 and some. To think about that. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm ecstatic that the weight is coming off as a side effect, but I'm more happy about how I feel. And that I'm getting off of all this medication. I'm slowly getting off of it. And it's going to turn my life around. I know it is. I got things to do. I got my husband to have a happy retirement with. Because we're both getting to retirement age. You know, I might even, I don't know, who knows what's going to be in store for the future. But I know that God has plans for both of us. And we can work for His kingdom. That'd be the greatest thing of all. We're doing that now, you know, sharing things on Facebook, sharing our videos. My husband does a video teaching every week, a Bible teaching, and puts one out there on Facebook. Sorry, ants. We have ants in the house. We've got spiders and we got ants. What can I say? We're just taking care of all the little critters here. Anyway, I just want to say I love you. And for anyone out there that's looking to try this, get on it, because I tell you, it works. It's helpful. If you've got cancer, it can help to heal your cancer. Now, I'm going to tell you this as a warning. Before you do anything, you must get your doctor on board. Don't go and do this ketogenic diet without getting your doctor on board. My doctor was on board with me and is on board with me. So do not do anything before you talk to your doctor about it. Your doctor might even recommend it. Now, I don't know how many doctors are really on board with it, but he recommended Dr. Fung to me, and when I went back to him and said, I read the book, and I really want to do this keto diet. What do you think? He said, by all means, if you want to do it, just watch your blood sugars. Keep an eye on them. Okay, will do. And I haven't looked back since. So you can do it, but just get your doctor on board with it, and don't do anything. If he says no, that he doesn't want you, then you need to find out why. Maybe you need to bring him some information about it. Do your research. That's what I did. I did research too. So do your research. Talk to him about it, him or her. And say, listen, this works. Watch the documentary, The Magic Pill. Look up Dr. Eric Berg and Dr. Jason Fung online. Listen to them. Go to the website, The Diet Doctor. They have good information on there. Dr. Fung also has a website, and I can't remember the name of it. But once you find him, you'll find out. You can even do a Google search on Dr. Fung and find his website. So I just wanted to let you know, another 5 pounds down and feeling great, lots of energy, more clarity in my thinking. So I know that I'm in ketosis. Perhaps I'm fat adapted. Don't know. But I don't do the checking with the ketosis sticks or anything. I don't do that. I do check my blood sugars. They're great. Everything's great. All good news, and it's a great way to live. I just want to say I love you, and I'm gonna leave you now. And I wish you every good thing that God could give to you always. God bless and have a great week. Bye now.